Let's talk about, very briefly, some features of fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is when the government raises or lowers the level of taxes and spending to achieve economic goals. Fiscal policy can be either automatic or discretionary. Automatic fiscal policy stabilizers are those that work that stabilize the economy automatically. No action is taken by Congress. For example, marginal tax rates. The higher increments of income, you pay a higher percentage. So, for example, if your income rises, the government would automatically suck more money out of the economy, which is good because it would prevent it from overheating. As income falls, it would suck less money out of the economy, putting a floor under consumption. That happens automatically. Unemployment benefits, food stamps, those are also automatic stabilizers. Discretionary stabilizers are those where the federal government, where Congress uses its discretion, where it votes to change something, like if it's changing rates or if it's voting for some huge new spending practice. So policy is either automatic or discretionary. Additionally, fiscal policy is either expansionary or contractionary. If we're in a recession, it will seek to be expansionary. It will try to put more money into the economy to stimulate it by either increasing government spending or cutting taxes, therefore putting money into the economy, or some combination. This will result in a budget deficit typically. If you're cutting your taxes, your revenue, but you're increasing your spending, you're going to be spending more than you're making. And this is expected. Conversely, the government may engage in contractionary fiscal policy. Inflation is high and we're afraid of a bubble that might burst. We might want to cool the economy off by sucking some money out of the economy. And we do that by either decreasing government spending, spending less, or increasing taxes to pull money out, or some combination. This policy should result in a budget surplus. We're increasing tax revenues, we're cutting spending. The government should end up with extra money left over, which it will then apply to previous deficits and debts. So where do politicians fight about this if everyone agrees on the need for contractionary and expansionary policy? Well, they disagree about how. For instance, during a recession, you should either increase spending or cut taxes. Which one should you do? It depends on whether you think the government is too large and inefficient, or whether you think the government is too small, or more appropriately, you think the government has things it still needs to do, like building crumbling infrastructure or meeting certain social needs, like the fact that millions of Americans don't have health care. That's how you answer. That's how you decide on which way to go. If you think there are unmet needs, i.e., the government perhaps might be too small, then you're going to want to increase spending in a recession and increase taxes during the boom time. Conversely, if you think the government is too large, then you want to decrease taxes rather than increase spending during a recession, and then decrease government spending rather than increase taxes during demand-pulled inflation. In other words, this top group here, they never want to cut spending. And these people are largely represented by the Democrats in America because they feel like government has more to do. This group on the bottom largely are represented by the Republicans because they believe the government is too big. They never want to increase taxes because they're an inefficiency and it will make the government more powerful. This is generally how it breaks out in America. Okay, let's walk through some examples. Let's say the government cuts personal income tax rates. What is that? Well, they cut the rates. They changed the rates, so it has to be one of these two. Congress would have to vote on that. If they're cutting rates, they're putting money in or leaving money in the economy. That is therefore discretionary and expansionary. All right, income rises. As a result, people pay a larger fraction of their incomes in taxes. What's at work here? Well, the government, this is happening automatically because of marginal tax rates. So it's one of these two. and they're paying money to the government. The government is sucking money out of the economy. That is contracting the economy. Therefore, this answer is automatic and contractionary. Okay, as a result of a recession, more families qualify for food stamps and welfare benefits. Is this automatic or discretionary? Well, Congress is not voting. This is set up already. This is happening automatically, and the government is putting money in people's pockets to put a floor under consumption. So they are trying to expand the economy. This is automatic and expansionary. Finally, the government launches a major new space program to explore Mars. Is that going to happen automatically, or is Congress going to have to appropriate some money for that? Clearly, the latter. This is going to be discretionary. And they're going to spend a lot of money, maybe build a new space center, train astronauts, give big contracts for parts of the spacecraft to Boeing. So clearly, they are expanding the economy. This is discretionary and expansionary.